Mom, it's your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, whom I worship. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. Salutations to all the Akim out there that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, all right, without profit and gain, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, and the confusion of faith brethren that have joined unto our ranks that do the same. All right, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is going to be like a response to a video that I watched, and it was called Funeral Director Tells the Truth. And this brother, this Jake, he was very compassionate. He had a zeal but no knowledge, because his name was Mohammad. So this brother Mohammad is a funeral director, and he was really sighing and crying about how he's tired of seeing Jake in his messed up position, and and dying over nonsense, listening to these rappers and all these things like that. And, but he was really going in on all these rappers who live this fantasy and all, and all these lies. People like Rick Ross and Lil Wayne, and they rap about all this stuff, and then simple-minded Jake try to live out the lyrics in their records, and they end up dead or in jail. All right, and he's talking about how they come into his funeral parlor, and when he gets them, their organs are missing, because Esau's taking their organs and making money. Well, it all goes back to Esau, man. Okay, because he controls the music industry. All right, when early rap was conscious rap, you had Public Enemy, even though they were coming from that comedic tip, that black stuff. They still were teaching a lot of truth about the wickedness of this society. They were rapping about history, KRS-One, but those music moguls, man, those music producers and the people at the top who run these companies were Jewish, man, and they weren't trying to hear that, man. When KRS-One started rapping about Abraham being a black man, and that the people that land was they were dark complected people, and he had a son named Isaac and Jacob, and that whole sort of thing. They shut that down quick, man. It's like, no, you need to go back to the bitches and hoes, and you weren't even rapping about radios and tennis shoes no more. It was straight about gangster shit. They pushed that NWA vibe, man, and all that has got was Jake killing each other, man, still to this day. All right, so let's get some scriptures. All right, this is milk scriptures, man. I'm gonna get 2 out the gate, because we got to return to the milk, because there's a lot of new people waking up, and a lot of people were hearing this for the first time, and evidence of that was on the line the other night, man. Just this past weekend, when the Iscarite and a little Irish girl walked up. There's still people out there who haven't heard this. This is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And which really meant a long time when you go into the language. It's not forever, because the Lord is going to have mercy on us. Because if you're really paying attention, the curses are beginning to fall on the Edomites and the heathens, man. They're starting to go through hell, and it's because it's starting to transfer over to them. Okay? But let's get Hosea 4:6, because this one applies even that much better. And this is what, brother Mohammad doesn't understand, because he's following Mohammed, and Mohammed slaughtered, and force converted many of our brethren to Islam. And those that wouldn't convert, they sold into slavery, man. The Muslim slave trade across the Sahara. Those Ishmaelites, those guys, all those Muhammad followers, they were brutal, man. They were cutting off Jake's rods. They were having their way with our women, and they would cut your rod off and then make you a bodyguard into their harems, into their wives, which in a lot of cases, your women were included in their concubines, man. And concubines mean lesser wife. Okay? So you know, then he's walking around. Brother Mohammed's got a smooth face. He's got no hair on his face, you know, which he's not keeping the laws, man. All right? And you're wondering why people in this condition. And then 2/3 of them are set to die. That's why so many people in your funeral home, 2/3 of our people are already marked for death, and there's nothing you can do about it, man. Okay? This is Hosea 4:6. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. All right? That's why our young are dying at the rate that they're dying in the streets, man. At the hand of Esau, really, because Esau's the one that makes all the guns. Okay? These guys he's the ones that makes all the guns and allow them to be put into certain neighborhoods, man. All right? Because you know, guns aren't flooding into the Edomite neighborhoods like that. Neither are they poverty stricken. Most people that do crime are people that are poverty stricken in most cases, man. All right. And Esau has set policies in place to ensure that that Negroes and Latinos stay poverty stricken, especially the Negroes, because Esau understands and knows the prophecies, and not the everyday Joe six-pack Edomite. We're talking about the elites, the wealthy. Okay, they are very aware of who the real Judah is, and they know the prophecy. And once Judah wakes up, it's over, because the rest of the tribes begin to wake up, and that's actually kind of happened already. So it's really nothing they can do about that. All right, because the Latin and the native tribes have already joined on to Judah, man. It's too late, man. Okay, it's too late on that tip. All right, and I know that a lot of people like Brother Mohammed, especially when I was coming up, when I first learned that the Israelites was a dark race of people, was actually in my senior year in high school, man. That's been a very long time ago, man. And I grew up with a couple guys who actually were Moorish, you know, and they used to break down stuff to me, and it was interesting. And they came with, you know, and they came out with that. And I never did believe the whole, you know, the whole Yaqub thing. That's, you know, that always seemed a little bugged out to me. But a lot of other stuff that they, you know, that they talked about, you know, some of it's written. That's what they do. They mix a lot of truth with lies, man. All right, no, it's just some of those bugged out philosophies. But a lot of Jake would join onto those other religions and cleaved onto them, because they felt like Christianity was a white man's religion and for them. And the truth of the matter is, it is. Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. The Bible is actually curses the so-called white man and Christianity, if you actually read it. The Bible is a book for the Israelite, which were a dark melanated people, man. All right. Outside of those, it got scattered among the heathens and now look like the heathens. All right, because that's part of the curses. You get scattered among a bunch of Chinese, and you're there for, you know, 20 generations. What do you look like 20 generations later? But as long as that sperm line has survived, you can trace the sperm line back to the original. Then everybody in that sperm line that's a male is an Israelite. That's why you have people that'll pop up in the strange lands, and as a matter of fact, let's get a scripture to prove that. This is Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from one end of the earth unto the other, and there thou shalt serve gods which neither thy father have known, even wood and stone. And that's exactly what happens, man. You got scattered to you know, a lot of Israelites ran into Africa among other dark people to blend in, the same way that Jesus did, so-called, all right, because that's not his name. Same way that Moses did, same way Mary and Joseph did. They ran into Egypt to blend in with other brown people, so they wouldn't be singled out so easily by the Edomites, the so-called white people that were looking for them, man. All right, okay, that's what they did. Okay. But yeah, we got scattered everywhere. So if you got scattered to a place like Indonesia, man, what do you look like now? You know, that's why you just, you know, sometimes I'm watching these different people, man, and they talk and act just like Jake, man, and they're not faking it, you know. Why? Because we got scattered among all those people. So our people are among those people. So this isn't a color thing. All right. This is a seed thing. Esau tries to make it a color thing to throw salt on the whole situation and cause that confusion, man. Because he knows that people are simple, and Esau knows how to use labels and to use words and then play on those words, man. All right, because people can't get past this black thing, man. First of all, no one is black. No one's the color of that pen top, man. No one's black. Let's find this black marker. There we go. Top of this marker, man. No one is that color. No one's that color. All right? People are brown. You got people that are almost as dark as that, but they're brown. You got from a dark brown. And I used to have a brown crayon, man. I used to keep it just for that purpose. All right? Because you can clearly see that brown is not black. And people are brown, man. And when you see the brown and the black crayon next to each other, you can see that. Different shades of brown, but they'll call brown people black. All right? From a dark brown to a very light brown. Very light brown. Okay? Different shades, man. Okay? But yeah, these fake rappers, they're set up by Esau, man. Okay? And they're told to push a certain, genre of music, man. To get Jake to go off, basically. Okay? And like brother Mohammad said, man, they're making money off Jacob, man. And when you die, they take your organs, man, because the scripture clearly said that the one shall be stronger than the other, man. So Jacob is stronger than Esau, man. All right? Just like it was found out a couple years back, and they kind of not talking about it no more, but that woman admitted how they were selling baby body parts and stuff. And they expect, and where are all those planned hoods? The majority of them are in the neighborhoods where easy access for so-called black and brown people, man. And they actually had the trucks, because there was one at the corner from a dojo I used to train in, man. And I used to see the trucks, and they used to dawn on me before I came in the truth. Why are trucks coming with trucks, armed trucks? Guys are armed to pick up waste from an abortion clinic, man. Which for a while I didn't even realize it was an abortion clinic, man. And I used to see all them women walking in and out there. A lot of them women, and sometimes white women too, man. You would see all these attractive women going in and out of this place. And then it wasn't until I was ignorant to the fact at the time. Because I didn't really know what was going on in there. I didn't really pay attention to it. And then I looked up and read the name, and then I did a little asked a few questions, and I was like, damn, that's what kind of place that is. And then it was like, wow, man. And then I just remember all the amount of women that I would see going in and out of there. All women too. A lot of Jake women, but some white women too, man, so-called. All right? And so, they're just going in there murdering their children, man. And then they would take those body parts and they would sell them and put them in pills and stuff, especially the melanated ones, man. Because Esau knows deep down that it's a curse and something's wrong with him being pale with no melanin. He knows that. That's why the tanner industry is $1 billion industry, man. Okay? Then brother Mohammad was also complaining about how he was tired of seeing the broke mothers in there trying to scrape together their pennies and things like that, man. But what bro Mohammad doesn't understand that we're under heavy curses, man. Okay? And let me read some of those curses that stand out, man. This is I'm just gonna read a few, and we'll close this out. This is Deuteronomy. I'm gonna start at verse the 28th chapter, verse 15. All right, because this is where the curses start, from 15 all the way to 68. The curses were bigger than the blessings. All right, as far as a number here. All right, and this is verse 28 and 15, and it reads of Deuteronomy. But it shall come to pass that if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe and do all his commandments and all his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and shall overtake thee. All right, and then the curses begin. Okay. And matter of fact, let me go find one of those curses somewhere else, and then I go back to those. Let me go to Isaiah 22. 42, Salakia. Isaiah 42. And 22. Yeah, here it is. It says, Isaiah 42, 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. All right? And so the rap game, this is where you end up, in prison or dead, man. And it's funny how you can go on YouTube or watch these shows, how the jail cells just magically open up, and a particular Jake is jumped, raped, then killed, and then what? Then he ends up in a funeral home with no body parts. Why? Because I'm willing to bet that his body parts probably fit. He had the right blood type, right this, that, and the other for some wealthy Edomite. And if you think that sort of thing doesn't go on, you are fooling yourself. You can just do a couple Google searches, look on the internet. You know, the Israelis have been harvesting the organs of those Palestinians for decades, man. Okay. Back to Deuteronomy 28. Okay. This read verse 36, 28 and 36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods of wood and stones. And that king, this scripture also proves reincarnation, although that's a kind of heavy. That's not really a milk scripture, because there's no there's no record of King David, because he's the king that's set over us, all right, forever, according to the scripture. He got kingship forever. But it says that our king went into slavery, and there's no record in the Bible of King David going into slavery except right here. All right, so that proves reincarnation. But you know, that's another lesson for another time. Verse 43: the stranger that is in thee shall get high above thee, and Salakia. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. All right. And it's true, because right down the street from me, and my neighborhood is mostly Issachar. All right. There's a few Ephraimites and a few Manasserites around, but it's mostly Issachar and Edomites. I got Edomite next door and Edomite about 3-4 houses down. But mostly everybody else is Issachar, and there's Judah sprinkled in here, about 2 more and more Judah moving into here. All right. But most of the businesses are owned by, you got Koreans on the hair shops right across the, because I'm near the border. So right near the border, once you cross state line, you in Indiana, but just in state line is like a little shopping mall there on the other side. And most of those businesses are owned by heathens, man. And then you got the Chinese restaurant. The Arabs own all the 7-Eleven. They own all they own all the liquor stores. All right, and they have Jake working in them stores, but they own them, man. Okay, so the stranger that is above thee shall get up high above thee. Why? Because they come and they make their money off you. See, they didn't collude it. You know, they in cahoots with the so-called white man. That's why the so-called white man let them come over here, because he allows them to get business loans and things of that nature, and they get built up off of Jacob too, man. So they're all like vampires, sucking the blood life out of Jacob, man, getting wealthy, man. But Jake don't get those same opportunities, or business opportunities, and they're the ones that built this country up, man. Or their land was taken and it was used to build the country up. All right. Back into these curses. Let's go to verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him, and he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, man. And if that is not talking, because all the banks can be traced back to the so-called white man, mainly the Jewish, man. Which kind of knocks them out of the curses, because they're in a position of lending. White people lend money, man. They lend They help businesses get started. According to the Bible, an Israelite, a Jew, would not be able to do that. They'd be on the bottom end of that. So they're not fitting that prophecy, that curse. Verse 54. And it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. That's why they always shooting and killing each other. And toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, man. Which was all set up by Esau anyway, because Esau set up devices that divided the so-called black family. All right. And, you know, that was that whole, and that child support thing. All right. Because 60, 70 years ago, 80 years ago, Jake wasn't leaving their families, man. Okay. That wasn't until the woman got liberated and started getting raised up, and the man lost authority and power in his house. Then that's when all those sort of things start happening. And now that curse is falling on the so-called white man. Now, because he's losing control over his house, he's losing his woman. All right, often to Jacob. All right, he's paying child support and all that sort of thing, and leaving his family. So now the curses are falling upon them. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson, and you know, and that you learned something. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Abba Shah Brakatah.